because they want to traumatize your brain so that your neural pathways are more susceptible to that remote neural monitoring, to phrasing, to images, to even feelings about what's going on. This stuff is so dangerous. It is so dangerous. We have to get it out into the public because what they're doing to me has just escalated. And with that escalation is an appearance of a mental illness that I have escalating, and so it fits directly into that little vein right there. That is a very dangerous thing because this is really going on, and these people really are traumatizing people. And once you get in there and they have a lot of people working on it, or they have more technology and more software and they've networked it out, then they're going to do more complicated stuff where it's harder for you. Like at the beginning, like when I first moved to the house, I was like, okay, he's shooting a high-pitched noise at me. I didn't even know about the remote neural monitoring yet. He's shooting a high-pitched noise at me. He's hitting me in the chest with a beam. Most of my thoughts, I was like, okay, well, I don't have a lot of phrasing being pushed in. As it's gone along, they've traumatized me nightly, hit me every night while I'm sleeping, while I'm awake. Intense trauma to where now they work on your neural pathways. But that trauma, they are allowing this remote neural monitoring to work better. They got a whole phrase in there last night, and I can't remember what it was. But they always get a lot of phrasing, and they've started to do some stuff like they'll say, I'm starting to like this guy, and that's not anybody who's on my side. They're trying, because I have a belief that there may be good guys who are trying to help me with directed energy weapon, maybe with their hands on these weapons. So they're trying to play on that. Now I don't know. There still could be, but they're definitely trying to play on that. They're saying, I'm starting to like this guy, or what are we going to do with this guy? Those are remote neural monitoring phrasings that they put in there. So they've come full circle where they're trying to, I guess, boost my ego. And I don't have an ego at this point. I really just want to help people. This technology is so sophisticated. I had a conversation with my mom today, where I didn't even talk about it. I almost died last night. It feels like I almost died last night. That may have been just trauma that they wanted to induce, so they could keep going with this, though. The V2K, the dialogue on that but it felt like they were really trying to kill me last night. That's the point I'm trying to make. And I had a conversation with my mom today, and I didn't talk to her about it. She's like, well, I've got these things I need you to do. I need you to do this and this for work, for work. And I was just like, okay, yeah. And I didn't even tell her, because I knew, like, at this point my mom will respond with like, well, just you can quit that job and just do whatever you want. And I don't want that response. I'm just going to try and deal with this, finish my workout at the charity. And she reacts in a way where she's a mother and she knows something's going on, but she doesn't know how complicated this is. So her reactions don't help either of us too much. I don't fault her at all. She's a great mother. She's saved my life many times in this by giving me money, helping me with a place to stay. She's a saint in my eyes. There are a lot of good people involved around this, and in my life and in your life, that are very good, but they can't just wave a magic wand and make this go away. We've got to fight the battle. We've got to keep getting awareness out, and we've got to do our best for our loved ones and people that are hurting. But it does hurt, going through something like that. And I didn't even go to the hospital or anything. I'm taking kratom. Even with that, it helps. It helps with the pain, but it is an herb. It's an herb that it's not super powerful. Even with that, these people try and use it. Like if I take some kratom, they'll hit me harder. Because they want to use that anything that I do differently. So if I'm on a video and I'm like, well, I took some kratom and I had a much worse headache, So people will associate with that. People who are non-TIs will associate it. Well, with this guy saying that, he's saying that he took this and he felt differently, or he's saying his air conditioner was out so it was hot and this was a lot worse. That's part of this. They try and use changes in your life to hit you harder, because if you tell people, I had a family member that died, and this hasn't happened to me, but I had a family member that died, and I went to their funeral, and they were hitting me really hard at the funeral. People will say, well, you were stressed out. Non-TIs, this is where they would come from. They'd be like, well, you were stressed out. You had a family member who died, and that's why you were feeling worse headaches. You were more stressed out. If you they may think that you have a mental illness, so they say, well, because your family member died, your mental illness was picking up. So these people use that psychological tactic a lot, and that's my main point on that. That any changes that you undergo in life, and then you tell people, it was this thing was happening in my life, and they hit me harder because of it, and it doesn't make sense, because why would they hit me after a loved one died so hard? That's for a reason. These people do things for a reason, to use people's psychology. To use those that you could get help from, to use their psychology about what they think is happening. It's very deceitful. A lot of psychopaths are trying to protect this technology and the money being made around all this. So it's very dangerous. It's a danger to our country. It's a danger to all of us on the world, on the earth. It's a danger to all of us. The kind of complicated stuff that these people have elevated themselves to with this money and this technology with me, is super dangerous. And I guess scary is the word I could use for it. Because on the V2K, they're cold-blooded. They're just like, yeah, this guy's not good. He's not a good guy. We got to do this, But I don't, some of the things that they do, like last night, they were on the V2K trying to be like, well, we need to go ahead and kill him tonight. That could be to induce trauma in me, to get me more scared, so that these weapons work better. They traumatize me. The remote neural monitoring works better. I know that a goal of this is to, make you commit suicide, or to actually kill you with these weapons. But I'm not sure at this point what they're, they have a lot of money in this on my situation, so I'm not sure what their goals are. They have, I'm not saying like I have the most prized brain in the world, but they've worked on my brain so long with this remote neural monitoring, shooting directed energy at me. So if there's an experimentation involved, to kill me just to do away with me, doesn't seem where the money would flow. It seems like they would traumatize me, get the remote neural monitoring to work with this technology and more methods of it on me, while they hurt me and discredit me, make me, neutralize me, so that I'm not, helping anybody, or I'm not a danger to stopping this program or letting anybody know, but still work on me. Y'all go ahead and comment on that. Y'all comment on your situations, what you feel like their goals are with you. It's a very sophisticated technology, and there's a lot of money attached to it. And I probably will on this video get a lot of people saying what's so special about you or whatever. I've answered those questions already. This is happening. I'm not some person that everybody saw as a threat, that I was gonna be this big political leader and save the world. It doesn't have anything to do with that. But now, TIs, we need to be that. We need to step up, be soldiers, and do this the right way, and really, and be the threats, be the threats in the right way. I guess that's my point right there. People may say, well, what makes you so special, to be picked like this? I don't think this program sees it that way. This program is about people being meat and being fed into a big wheel of money and technology, and their brains also being fed into that wheel of money and technology. But now we need to be those special people that we are. because we really are those people, and we have been by something higher up. If you take a maybe take a metaphor like this, that there's a bat and there's a hand, there's my hand, and then there's these guys' hand, and then there's, you know, the higher up hand of DOD and their agendas or whatever to make money for these private corporations to experiment with this technology to get consumer products for these frequencies, and also make weapons from them. A lot of money and a lot of weaponized potential. What I picture is at the top of that bat, and it ain't going away, there's a good hand. There's a hand that picked you, even though all this stuff is going on in our world with all these variables. It did pick you for this, because I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ and God. No matter what the world sees, that maybe they see you as just a catalyst, or somebody they're just going to use, or they're just going to experiment on your brain, or they're just going to kill you because they can get money out of it. They can make you look crazy. There's a hand at the top of that bat. There's a hand at the top of that bat that is ultimate good, that is universal love, and it did pick you for this. It did pick you for this. So I want everybody to understand what I think about us being special. I think in reality we are, that we were picked, not by these people who are doing this to us, not by society. You know, those reasons of whistleblowing or vengeance, or you know, just being at the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, those reasons for picking us to be involved in this program, and then being a catalyst for all this money and false flagging and stuff like that. That's one thing, but in the big scheme of things, the hand at the top of the bat, you were special, and you were picked by something that saw potential in you, that saw that you could make a difference in this world. So we need to go ahead and do that. You know, we need to go ahead and do that. And I'm preaching to the choir. You know, that's what I'm doing with these videos. I got that stupid light behind me. It's super hot in here. It is just, it's so hot. Like, I'm sweating, and I have all these personal defenders on. Two of them went out last night after that happened. So I'm like, thanks God. You know, but it wasn't so bad when I woke up. It was very bad last night before I went to bed. I couldn't go to sleep all night because it was just, and right now they're doing it. It's not so bad. But they also mess around with me. When I take defenders off, they'll kind of back off of the weaponry to make me do it more, and then, you know, I don't have that field around me. Then they'll, you know, shoot me with a lot more directed energy once they've been off for a while. One thing they can't play around with too much when I have a bunch of personal defenders on is the high-pitched sound. It buffers that out really good. The V2K is, they've beefed that up to where it's hard for me to buffer that down. Now the beams of energy hitting me are affected by my Q-Wave defenders, by my plugs that I have, but they also, I think they are playing around with a lot of energy. So, you know, I don't know if you know, I think me defending is better. I'll just go ahead and say that, and it does work, and it keeps you less in their control. But you know, they can still hurt you. They can still work on it with these frequencies. They have infinite amounts of time because it's unaccountable. Nobody knows about this technology. You know, so they do have like these infinite amounts of time to work with. You know, a lot of people always tell me, they're like, my stalkers are dumb. You know, that's what I thought about mine at the beginning. I was like, this guy, you know, he's not trained to do this. Like, he's making idiot mistakes. He's giving himself away. But because the system protects them, because this huge system of money, and because the technology's hidden, it protects them. They can be as stupid as they want, and they have a lot of time. So we got to take that time away from them, you know. I'm coming up at 30 minutes. I kind of just want to make this a 30-minute video, guys. I might even make another video tonight, but I want to tell y'all what's going on with me. You know, the water's receding in my state. I'll make another video later on and kind of keep y'all updated. Love you guys. God is behind us. And God protect and bless you and your families. I'll see you on the next one, guys. All right?